other night, on Thursday night, and I did take the crown, which was really exciting for me. So since then, I've had a lot of people message me and send emails asking how I made certain things, how I build certain things. So I was going to start by taking you through my costume and explaining a little bit about what I did, and give you a few tips and tricks on how you can burlesque on a budget, because that's what we're all about, poverty. So since this is my first video, I thought I would take you through my background a little bit and what I do and where I come from. So I am Lady Heart. For my entire life I have just built things for myself. Never had any money growing up as a punk rocker and a goth, so was like, but I want all the expensive things, I just don't have the money to get them. I started making hats and headpieces when I was about 17. I worked in a shop in Newtown called Invisible Light, and the owner of that store, Sharon, and I just used to make hats together and we'd sell them in her shop. And it was something that I really loved doing, so hats kind of started taking over my life. I've been performing since I was a little girl as well. I started out in ballet and jazz and then went on to physical culture. Started re-performing in burlesque a couple of years ago. So being able to build all these things that I can build in costuming has really helped my burlesque performance and really give it an added DIY touch, which I fully recommend for everyone. Take you through a couple of the costume pieces today in part one. Woo! I also have my very handsome husband behind the camera today. Alan!
Howdy, folk. I love you.
So this is the headpiece I made. I actually made this quite a while ago. I'm sure some of you will be surprised to know it is almost entirely made out of Kmart placemats. So what I've done is I've actually cut out a few different parts of this hat. The back part is all one bit, around the face bit is all one piece as well. These are all separate pieces. And what it is mounted on is actually a Daiso visor. You know, the visors that you wear in poker? That is what I have used as the base of this, and it is just turned upways instead of frontways. I know, it's a magical trick. So the veiling I got from Reverse Garbage. Reverse Garbage is fantastic. If you haven't been there, I fully recommend going there. They have a filler bag for $7, for $10. Most of the materials for the DIY competition were actually used from Reverse Garbage $10 filler bags. So there was no way in hell that this headpiece was performance ready. So what I had to actually do to make it performance ready was add this support at the back of the head, which I ended up bobby pinning down. Now the two pieces of wire that are coming out, this whole contraption is actually built out of wire that I've wrapped in wool. I've kept the wire movable because I needed to place my bomb props that I removed from my headpiece during the act onto them. So that is the way I actually made them stick onto the headpiece. The crystalling is, if you go to any $2 shop, they have the stick-on sparkles for, I think, phones and things like that. They come in a variety of colors and they're only like $2.50 a pack or something like that. I don't know the technical name of these. Maya Mercury and I decided they were called arm swoopies, so I suppose that will go with that. So all I've done here is, with the same veiling as the headpiece that I got from Reverse Garbage, I've measured around my wrist and upper arm and then just sewn some elastic around the ends of the folded parts of the fabric. So then you can simply pop them over your hands and up your arms and instant glamour for about 50 cents. This is one of the two bomb props I made to go in the headpiece to sit on the wire. All I've done is gone to the $2 store. I've gotten, they're usually 2 packs of styrofoam balls. I've used black poster paint to paint the whole thing. I don't recommend using acrylic paint because it takes ages to dry. Now that said, I have used acrylic paint on this lettering, but as I've only used quite a small amount, it did end up drying the day before the competition. To make this top of the bum, I've just used glitter black EV foam sheets. You can also get those at $2 stores and then just cut them into the shape I need. This stick is a barbecue skewer that I snapped in half and then shoved down in there deep into the depths of it so it would stay in place. And again, the flame, which I've done back and forth on, is again the EV glitter foam sheets in different colors. Now these props are bomb diggity! I'm sorry I had to. I wore these props tucked down the back of my leg guards that I had made, which I will show you in part 2. So what I actually made these out of was, again, from reverse garbage. Had these flexible long strips of just black rubber tubing. I'm actually not even sure what it was meant to be used for originally. But all I've done is cut them into roughly the same shape and size. Then I made a TNT stencil that I just freehanded and then cut out and spray painted over the top. As I know a lot of people out there are desperate to learn about what goes into the glitter cannon, so let's find out.
So this was only $10 or $15 from Kmart. Similar brand to Nerf, like more or less it's just a Nerf gun. So the original idea for it was that I was just going to up how much power it had so it could shoot rubber darts a little bit further. And then we had the Bright Spark idea that we could use it as a glitter gun. So the original plan for that was that we use these small cartridges I made that are just parts of a texture, got a hacksaw and cut it up and put electrical tape around it. And because it tapers down, so it's thinner at the bottom, it's thinner at one end than the other end, you can sort of cram it in and it just sticks, right? And then we were taking this here big old jar of confetti, tweezers, and then just filling the things up with confetti. And one of the problems we found was that there was quite a few times where it didn't work, and that was a bit of concern.
There was the issues of packing it too tight, packing it too loose.
And what we ended up deciding to do was, instead of using these here cartridges, we were just feeding the confetti directly into the little spot where you just put the rubber dart, and it's got more than enough whoosh. So I've just loaded this up by getting a little funnel, similar to this one. Yeah, so you can get a funnel and just stick it in there. You get the confetti, pour it in the top, jam it in, good to rock and roll. So I think this is already loaded. Yep. And then, fantastic.
Woo! Well, that's about it from me on part 1 of my DIY burlesque koala. I'd like to thank my lovely husband Jem for helping me out with this and showing us how he did his awesome glitter gun. Can't wait to see every burlesque star out there just shooting glitter at people. It's fantastic. I would also like to thank all the judges, all the people who came, Maida LaRoof putting together DIY Burlesque Koala. It was an absolutely fantastic event and I cannot wait to be a part of it again next year. Until the next video, that's it from me. You can set them in cups. I'll show that in the close jar. I was going to put it in my tea.
Bomb tea.
It's Boston Harbor all over again.